In this video, I figured it would be fun for Kevin and I to go over the TV shows and movies that we have watched in the month of October, whether it be at the movie theater or on TV or no matter what channel, whatever. I've kept track for the month of October. I watched quite a few by myself. So I'm just going to hit on those really quick first, and then I'll go over the ones that Kevin and I watched. I didn't realize how many that I watched by myself. I watched a documentary called Lula Rich, and Lula Rich deals with it's a pyramid scheme, and people are still in it. It's selling clothes for LuLaRoe. So if you've ever bought anything from LuLaRoe, know anything about LuLaRoe, that's what the documentary was about. It was very interesting. Then I watched Britney versus Spears, which there was another one that I liked more. It was called Framing Britney Spears, and I actually liked it more. But this one had to do with her conservatorship, just like the other ones. There's been a lot of documentaries coming out about that. So then this one, this was the favorite thing that I watched by myself for the whole month, and I want to watch it again with Kevin. I told him about it immediately. It's called 9/11 Inside the President's War Room. It was absolutely the best thing ever. There were interviews with George W. Bush, with Colin Powell. This was basically, it took you through President Bush's day on the day of 9/11. So you saw him in the morning when he got up, how his day started out, and it followed him throughout the entire day of 9/11, and it was absolutely, it was fantastic. It was so well done, and now that I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking, why were the cameras even following him? I guess they always follow him. Yeah, I guess there's always cameras following him. So I guess if they wanted to follow him on the 8th or the 7th or whatever, they would have been able to pull that footage. But it was fascinating because it's a side that you've never seen before, and it was so well done. I definitely want to watch it again with Kevin. Just wonderful. Then, completely different, I watched Descendants with Amelia, our granddaughter Amelia. And Descendants is on the Disney Channel, and so what it is it's the descendants of the like all the princesses, like Cinderella has grown up and had children, and Snow White has children, and then but you've also got the villains. The villains have had children, and so Descendants, all the villains' children's go to like public school, basically outside the kingdom. None of them are allowed to go in school to the posh schools in the kingdom, and so they basically decide, we're gonna let them go to school in the kingdom, give them a shot. It was good. I enjoyed it. I really did enjoy it.
It's real people?
It's real people, yeah, and it was enjoyable. Oh my goodness.
Because I know they have a cartoon version of Descendants too, I think.
This is one I would like to watch again with Kevin as well, but for a completely different reason. This is called The Way Down: God, Greed, and the Cult of Gwen Shamblin. Gwen Shamblin had this church called Remnant Church. Gosh, I don't know how much I want to tell you. I was gonna give away, let me just say this. I don't ever like to give away anything, but I was gonna give you a mouthful about how I feel about this, because I thought it was gonna end differently than it did. I thought that I think I can safely tell you this. I think I can tell you this, and I won't ruin anything for anybody. this church still exists. This remnant church still exists to this day. That's why I'm not going to give you a mouthful, because trust me, I have very strong opinions about this. This woman created this church under, she wants everybody to lose weight. It's all about weight and weight loss and food and just your level of salvation has to do with how much you weigh or don't. She is a piece of work, let me tell you. And her hair, throughout the entire documentary, her hair gets bigger and bigger. So when you see the thumbnail for this show, you're thinking, oh, that's some kind of a cartoon. They've just drawn it like that. No. The woman's hair is literally, there we go, is this high off her head. I guess she didn't have any friends because no one told her that she looked hideous. But anyway, I'm not going to give you like my full opinion about it. It's fascinating. You need to watch it. Totally worth watching. I would watch it with Kevin just so that we could sit there and have full running commentary the whole time. It's good. And then I watched a movie called We're the Millers, which came out a long time ago. It has Jason Sudeikis, Jennifer Aniston, and basically Jason Sudeikis plays this drug dealer, and he is trying to get some drugs across the Mexican border, and so he has to form this fake family. And so We're the Millers. He has Jennifer Aniston as his wife, and then he has 2 kids, and so it's very funny but crude. And then I watched one called The Campaign, and it
also probably funny and crude.
Yes. It has Jason Sudeikis as well, and I'll tell you in a few minutes when Kevin and I are talking about something else why these 2 movies were recommended to me. But it has Will Ferrell and Zach Galifianakis, and our son Andrew had told me years ago, he said, you have to watch this movie called The Campaign. Andrew is brilliant when it comes to voices. If Andrew wanted to be an actor, I truly believe Andrew could have been a great actor because Andrew can do any voice. Andrew has a terrific memory. He would have been a Zach Galifianakis if he had just gone for it. I'm telling you, because he is awesome. He can do the voice that Zach Galifianakis does better than he did it in that movie. It's just brilliant. But it is about this campaign, and Zach Galifianakis and Will Ferrell are campaigning against each other, and it's the crudest thing you've ever watched. But it's funny.
I just saw one part where a baby gets punched. That's the only part I saw. Not on purpose, but a baby does get punched.
Then I watched a show called Years and Years. Someone had recommended this to me, and it's it's about Britain. Britain is slowly turning into a dictatorship, and during this time, as years and years go by, it's following the same family. They have a very busy life in Britain, and so it's following them, and there's a lot of popular people in the show. It's very bizarre. I liked it, but it was a very bizarre show. I'm almost finished. I know I've talked a lot.
She could have just called me in here.
I'm so sorry.
She was done.
Then I watched one called What Happened to Brittany Murphy, and if you know who Brittany Murphy is, she was absolutely beautiful, but she died very suddenly. And What Happened to Brittany Murphy was a great documentary, and it not only talked about her, but it talked about her husband. And her husband was a bizarre character, but it was really, really interesting to hear behind the scenes information about Brittany Murphy. And then lastly, then I'll let you talk. I watched another one with Amelia. It was the LOL movie. And so last time And Gavin and Amelia spent the night. Amelia and I watched the LOL movie. We laid up in the bed and we watched it, and it's cute. If you like LOL dolls at all, they're sparkly and they're just in your face with colors.
A little slutty.
It was a really, really cute movie. So now with Kevin, these are TV shows that have come back on that we've been enjoying again. And then I'm going to let you comment as you will. Survivor. Do you have anything to say?
No, the same Survivor. I mean, it's the same as always.
It's the same as always,
Yeah.
It's really good. They've changed it up a little bit, some things here and there.
I mean, really, it's still the same game.
But it's still fun to watch.
It's Survivor, and I don't care what they do as far as doing different little things and advantages and stuff, it's still Survivor. I mean, ultimately, it still ends up being Survivor.
They have this part in there this season that Jeff Probst, at the very beginning, he said, we're going to put in here a part for the kids. And so there's like a little puzzle hidden for our kids in each episode. Well,
yeah, like a picture of a clock minus the LOCK. So you got C, and then it's got all these, but they show up for like, and it's gone.
You would have to be...
You'd have to take a picture of it. There's no way to pause it if you recorded it.
You would have to, because there's no way that... I mean, it's literally for a split second.
They'll show a picture and they'll pan across it. And it's like, wow, you'd be I mean, I don't even have time to register what the first little section was.
I agree.
Before it's moved on. It's like,
I agree.
okay, I didn't get anything out of that.
We've also been watching...
They've also been doing... I do like it that they're doing this kind of... they're calling it behind the scenes, but he'll like talk about what's coming up, like this contest in this competition they're going to do but what they don't realize is this.
I like that too.
I like that. That's kind of cool that you get a little. I mean, it's
always fun.
I mean, ultimately it doesn't matter, but it's still neat.
It's always fun to get a little behind the scenes. Yeah. We like to know that we're in the know. You know, that we know something that the players don't know. The Great British Bake Off.
Yeah, that's good. It's always good.
It's always good. I do have to say,
it's the Bake Off. I mean, if you watch one, you've watched all of them, but it's still interesting the different ways people do things. So it's neat.
I do have to say, I was very glad. I don't know about Kevin, but I was glad when Frida got voted out, because I was so tired of her voice. I know my voice drives some people crazy. My accent, some people cannot watch my channel at all because they're like, your accent just kills me. I get it. I totally get it, because when she would talk like this, and I'm glad I don't have to hear her voice anymore.
Kind of like Valley Girl with no energy.
Oh, listen, she had no energy. Yeah, it was just, she drove me crazy.
She seemed sweet, but
I think she was a very sweet girl.
Yeah, her talking drove me crazy.
Yeah, we're watching The Connors.
Yeah,
It's good though.
It's good. I think it's about time for that show to just end too.
I think people were worried about it when Roseanne left.
No, it's been fun.
I enjoy it.
And they've done things, if you don't watch it, then you won't care. But basically, Dan got remarried. I think that opens up the door for more stories, because you can have more family stories.
Yes.
They really haven't had a lot of like family stories. They kind of did, but not really for a while.
Right. But it still is very, I think
it's entertaining. But I think if it went off the air, I wouldn't necessarily miss it.
Young Sheldon.
I still enjoy it.
Young Sheldon it's wonderful. Yeah. It is a good show. The whole family can watch Young Sheldon, I think.
It's a good show, and I wonder how they're going to work in these kids getting older and older and older.
Because they've changed so much since it started.
If you look at the first season till now, it's like, wow.
It's just amazing.
You look back at the first season, how young, especially Sheldon was, it's like, I wouldn't even know a kid that young could act, much less act like he did, you know, because he was real young.
Yeah.
So
we finished MASH. After watching it for a year, I think.
Now you can comment.
We finished MASH. And I told Kevin, I said, I don't think anybody ever gave away anything about it, because I don't think anybody that watches my channel has watched all of MASH.
Well, you would have to be probably my age, 50-ish.
It would surprise me to find out that somebody watching me has watched every episode of MASH. It's just because it was on when I was a kid, and I was young.
Well, early 80s.
Yeah, and so, but it was It was good.
It was very good. It ended very well. It ended differently than my memory of it from a kid it was. Because remember I told you that one scene I thought was more towards the end of the episode, and it wasn't. It was right at the beginning. So, yeah. It was good, though. If you've never watched MASH, it still holds. It's still as funny now as it was back then.
Yeah, it was good. Then we're watching a show called Trying. And Trying, it takes place, these people live in London, in Camden Lock, if you know that area. They live in Camden, and they are trying to conceive, and that is what the show is about.
Well, that's what the first episode.
That's what the first episode is about. It's really cute. Yeah. It's a cute show.
It moves on from there.
And if you watch the Harry Potter movie, I don't know what that woman's name is. She plays a hateful woman.
The one that gets Harry to write, but
writes on his
skin when he's writing on the paper.
The woman, the woman with the cats. Yes, she plays in this, and she's so different in this.
She plays a really good person.
Yeah, she's really good. And then the last show that we're watching is The Vicar of Dimbley. It's so funny. It is hilarious.
It's very No. Yes, we're watching that.
It's a good show.
There's a character in there that does that constantly. It's hilarious.
And we just finished the first season, didn't we? Because
there's only like 6 episodes or 8 episodes.
Typically in the UK, the seasons are much shorter than they are here.
Yeah, you don't see 23 episode shows over there.
No.
No,
Yes.
No, you don't.
Anyway,
and his wife says, yeah, no.
It's a fun
Hilarious.
show. Okay, so now...
And it's old, too. It's not a new show by any means. It's old.
For shows that Kevin or movies that we watched Dune. Dune was...
It was good. It's a little deep. I told Tammy, I said, the book's a lot. I've read the first book probably 4 or 5 times. And it's deep. I mean, politically, it's very, very, very deep and complex. In the movie, they kind of skip over that complexity, so sometimes you don't know what's going on.
I thought,
coming from a person that's never read the books, what did you think?
I thought it was interesting. I would definitely watch the next one. I know there's going to be a second one.
They just green-lighted it.
And so I will watch the next one. When it first started, I thought, this is not my kind of movie at all. But then...
It's slow.
But then you do get into it, and it's fascinating to me to hear. Kevin's a very intelligent person, so for him to have read the book 4 times and then still saying it's complex, and a guy that he used to work with,
he could quote the books.
Yeah, quote them, and it's like,
and knew all the different factions and all the different people and all how they interacted and this person there and this and that. And I'm going, how do you remember all this?
He must have a heck of a memory too.
He always
because
has.
He could remember other.
He quotes all kinds of stuff. Yeah. But anyway, if the bad thing is Dune has never made it past. Like, I don't think any movie or TV series or anything has ever made it past like that first, maybe the second book. Then they never get past it
because it's so complex.
Because it gets so complex that people just don't want to get that deep into things. I mean, it's a very deep story. I mean, it's like an opera, really, soap opera more than anything. So anyway, it's good though. They did a really good job on
it. The Many Saints of Newark. We watched that.
Yeah, that was okay.
It was okay. For me, it was a one-time thing.
Yeah, it was. I mean, really, you're not missing any backstory, really. I don't think.
I think it would have probably been more enjoyable if you had just finished watching The Sopranos, because that's
what you knew a lot more of the characters.
Yeah, I think it's been so many years since we worked our way through The Sopranos that you forget a lot of the characters and what they're all about. So then you jump into the Many Saints of Newark, and it's like they expect you to just
remember who Sal is or whoever,
and remember all of his backstory, and remember that this is what went on with him, and you don't remember all that because it's been too many years since you watched it.
Well, I thought the whole point of this was to see how Tony got to where he's at.
Right.
And I don't think they really did explain how
either.
I think they showed a lot about his family and some of his his family, the people around him family.
The other family.
I think they showed that part of it, but they didn't really show how he grew into who he was.
I don't think so.
I think they missed the mark when it came to, if that was what they were aiming for, I don't think they got it.
Yeah, that was a one-time thing.
And honestly, if you really, unless you're really, really, really into Sopranos, you're safe to miss it.
Yeah, I think so too. I also thought of another TV show that I didn't put on here because we've only watched 3 episodes. It's called Silent Witness, and it is like a CSI type show, but it takes place in the UK.
It's not as good as CSI though, I don't think.
Well, but you have to keep in mind, you can tell it's old.
I think it was out around the same time. I really do.
I think it's old.
I looked it up. It was in the late 90s, I think. It's been on 25 seasons though, so they like it over there.
Right.
I just didn't
like it.
I like it too, but it's not near, the stories and stuff aren't nearly as good as like CSI was here. And there's crime dramas over there that I liked a lot better too. So it's just, like Vera, I like Vera a lot better. I don't know.
See, I'm enjoying it. I guess I'm enjoying it more than Kevin.
It's not that I'm not enjoying it. I am enjoying it. I just think there's other shows that are better.
It looks like it was filmed back in the 70s because it's really grainy and we're watching it on Amazon Prime.
A very, very early 90s is what it seems like.
We're watching on Amazon Prime, aren't we?
I think so, yeah.
And the picture quality is just like you think that it was
filmed. It's all VHS tape.
Yeah, it looks like it was filmed a long time ago.
Well, and then the clothes they're wearing are like very early 90s kind of clothing.
Yeah, it comes across as a lot older than what it is, but I think it still is coming on.
Oh yeah, I think it's still.
So I think we're gonna.
I don't know if there's new episodes now, but I know it was.
So we will. It will get better as far as the quality of the picture quality and all that goes.
Yeah, can you imagine?
I like the story.
If it's still coming on now, like 25 years later.
Yeah.
The computers and stuff they're using back then were like green screen monitors with green text and stuff on. I mean, that's why I'm saying it seems so old.
Yeah.
And now they're going to slowly move to where they're getting flat screens and phones, and I don't even think they have cell phones in there.
That's always what's weird to me about watching movies and TV shows and stuff from way back. It's like, why aren't they just calling?
I know, it's like if that were to happen now, they would just pick their cell phone up and call.
Right. But and a lot of storylines that you can't have these days because people do have cell phones. But
then you have to use the thing, there's no service. That's what you have to play that card.
Yeah, exactly. So, but anyway, I forgot to write that one
it's down. A good show. It'll be interesting to see how it goes.
Addams Family 2.
That was cute.
It was good.
Did you like that one? I think I liked the second one better than I did the first one.
I laughed harder in the second one than I did the first one. There was a part that it was just, I just cackled. And the kids, we watched it with Gavin and Amelia, and they loved it too. It is so cute. And I'm telling you, Pugsley, I swear to you, Pugsley is made after Macaulay Culkin. Now, you will never be able to watch it. This is the cartoon. You'll never be able to look at him again without thinking of Macaulay Culkin. He looks like Macaulay Culkin in Pugsley in a cartoon version. And I swear that the Uncle Fester, I'm not going to say who he reminds me of because this is not a celebrity. There is a travel channel that I watch on YouTube. And Uncle Fester reminds me of this man that does this travel YouTube channel.
I don't watch it.
And I'm almost positive a friend of mine, Bobby, in California, I'm pretty positive Bobby watches this YouTube channel. So if she ever watched that episode with us, she'd be like, oh, I know exactly who she's talking about.
He's not as big.
No, he's not as big. But his face...
Because Uncle Fester's as round as can be.
Yes, but this guy, this YouTube guy, he is skinny.
I could see that.
But his face, it's the same face. And it's like, oh my gosh, were the Addams Family people watching him? Because that's who Uncle Fester looks like, is this guy.
And Snoop Dogg does, Cousin It does an excellent job.
Hilarious. It is so
It's funny because he's mumbling and he takes his microphone, he sticks it in the hair and you can hear every word he says. So it's the hair that makes him mumble. And you don't
It's
have
so
to. You don't
funny.
have to watch the first one to watch the second one.
No, you don't at all, because the second one is about them going on vacation.
Yeah, it's
basically.
completely separate movies. So
It's so
it's very good.
funny. I would watch either one of them again right now,
Oh, yeah.
but
They're
I do
cute.
think I like the second one.
I do too.
Usually that's not the case. Usually the first one is always the best one. This one, I think the second one is even better. So now I have saved what I think are the two best, this is my opinion, we'll get Kevin's opinion too. The two best shows, the ones that
Like
I
shows?
enjoyed. Yes.
Right.
The first one I'll talk about is Squid Games.
No, that was a good show.
Oh.
You have to make it past. If you can get to the subway, you'll know what I'm talking about when you watch it.
In the first
In the first episode, it seems really. I wasn't even going to watch it anymore, and I literally stopped within 4 minutes of it picking up. Watch it till the subway, and if you lose interest after that, just stop. But
I have heard from many people that it takes about 40 minutes to get into it, and I don't know why it's slow. I have no idea. It's just they're just trying to.
they're trying to get you this hard luck guy.
They're trying to build up the story,
right
but once you
of
get
why you would do what he did.
once you get to like 40 minutes in,
The subway, you'll know.
you're gonna want to watch every single episode. I would watch the whole series again right now, even though I know how it ends. I'd watch it again right now.
Just a warning though, if you've never heard of it or whatever, it is a little bloody.
Yeah, oh yeah, this is not a show for kids,
No.
for young kids.
Yeah, your 16-year-old or whatever.
Oh
has
yeah, but
probably
that's
seen
not, I
worse.
don't consider 16
No,
year
I'm
old
saying,
young.
I'm saying that you wouldn't want your 10-year-old to watch it.
I don't know. I think it depends on the 10-year-old.
Most 10-year-olds wouldn't watch those.
I think it just depends. You, as a parent, you need to watch it and you decide.
It's bloody.
It's a bloody show. It's violent. But if your kid watches video games, then they've probably seen it all.
It's fake people.
They probably have seen it all before. But
It was good.
it is awesome, and
It's different too.
Yes, it's very, very different. Yes, it is an excellent show. What was that on Netflix? Pretty sure that was on Netflix. I could be
yes,
wrong.
yeah,
I think it
so.
was on Netflix.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Anyway,
it is.
it's really good.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure that was what everybody's talking about. It's like the new Netflix phenomenon, you know.
And then my favorite of the whole month is Ted Lasso.
Yeah, I like Squid Games better.
Ted Lasso, and a lot of people are like, Ted Lasso, what's Ted Lasso? Ted Lasso is an American football coach who is hired to go coach European football,
Which is soccer.
which is we call soccer, but is actually football because you actually use your foot to play it. So that's actually football. It makes more sense that is called football because you use your feet. Ours, you use your hand and they call it football. It doesn't make any sense. But anyway, he has been hired to go over to the UK, and so the whole show takes place in the United Kingdom, and it is absolutely, I could just gush on and on and on about the show, but it stars Jason Sudeikis. Well, I had never heard of him. I didn't know who he was. I had never seen this guy before, this guy with this mustache. Never seen him before. So then we finished Ted Lasso, and that's why I told you earlier, I got recommendations to watch We're the Millers and The Campaign because they had Jason Sudeikis in it. I'm thinking, why are they recommending these to me? Well, because they had him in there. But this guy, Jason Sudeikis, anybody that 9 out of 10 men, in my opinion, that have a mustache, it looks like, I would call it a porn stash. It looks kind of creepy. Most guys that I see with a mustache, it looks creepy.
Just a mustache.
Just a mustache, no beard. He pulls it off. He looks good with the mustache. He's a good looking man, and he has personality plus. And if ever there was a show that you're going to pull a lot of quotes from and things that you're going to want to remember. Like, he says these things, but other people say things that are just as good too. And you're like, oh my gosh, I need to remember that. If you do a search, don't do a search before you watch it, but after you watch it, if you do a search of Ted Lasso quotes, people have put these quotes on their websites because there will be pages of them because they're so good. I mean, it is the most I think it's an uplifting show.
It is. Yeah, there's not. There's kind of some adversarial things, but not much really.
It's a terrific.
It is a good show. It's a good clean show.
And you don't.
It's on
have
Apple TV.
You don't have to like sports. You don't have to like sports.
No, really, sports is a secondary.
Yeah, we're not sports people, and I love it. I'm not going to tell you anything about it, but I will tell you that they have a Christmas episode. The Christmas episode was like my favorite episode.
That was in season 2, wasn't it? I don't think they did a season. I don't think they did a Christmas one the first year.
I don't know which season it was in. See, we binged it. So,
yeah, so they all ran together.
Yeah, they all ran together. So I don't know what season the Christmas episode was in, but it was my favorite episode. But it's one that I could absolutely watch again. I really do miss all the characters in it.
The good thing is we got plenty of other things to watch.
We do. We have a lot of other things to watch. Absolutely. So if I had to ask you, out of the movies that we watched together, we only watched a few movies.
The movies, Addams Family.
The Addams Family.
Yeah, I really did like Dune, but it was just a different.
So the many
which one would I sit and watch again? I would watch that.
The Many Saints of Newark, though, I'm considering that a movie.
Yeah, I wouldn't watch it again.
I'm gonna say out of the movies that we watched together, it would be definitely the Addams Family too. But my favorite TV show that I watched, my number one would be Ted Lasso, but I really did like Squid Games a lot.
Mine would be Squid Games.
Because
the rest of them are just regular shows. They're not like...
Right.
Yeah.
And then my favorite documentary, although I watched a lot of really good ones, that 9/11, it was truly a remarkable documentary. Yeah, and I do want to watch it together.
See, Tammy will work on, I'll be playing a game or whatever on my computer. She'll be on her computer working on making videos and stuff and have a show on while she's working.
Yes, so like I'm working on videos and stuff like that, resizing pictures, all that stuff, typing up the information.
So she's got time to sit and watch shows.
And I can, like the campaign, that's how I watched We're the Millers and the campaign and stuff. I have my monitor that I'm doing work on, and then I have my other one where, yeah, that stuff's going. So yes, that's why I have more time than Kevin. But yeah, if you've been watching anything that is remarkable, that you thought was just absolutely wonderful, you'll have to let us know. If you've watched any of these, let us know what you thought. I would particularly like to hear about if any of you have watched Ted Lasso, and if you're as crazy about it as me. Because like Call the Midwife is a feel-good show. Ted Lasso is a feel-good show. Oh, and Kevin told me something exciting the other day. Doctor Who is coming out
October 31st. Huh?
Yeah, so this video is coming out on Halloween. That Doctor Who episode should be coming out when this video... We're filming this a couple of days early for you. But yeah, there should be a new Doctor Who episode out. So I'm looking forward to that. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and we hope to hear from you in the comments below. And thanks for watching.